brainwashing these tethers. No, you guys, whatever media you're talking about that brainwashes them to hate us, they are voluntarily casting that amongst the entire country, the continent for that matter. But yeah, there's no projection from outer space that's blast onto Africa where they're forced to watch that. Okay, whatever you're talking about, they wanted to play that. They wanted to believe that. They wanted to watch that.
In the media over there, you really don't, because we don't do any grand scale things that would garner international attention that's negative. You understand? We don't have no. Go ahead.
Like, for instance, when I was teaching in Kazakhstan, I was there for 7 years, and you would see pictures, well, videos of, Black women twerking and doing all that kind of stuff. And it's on the television. So in the minds of those people, that's how they see.
Yeah, I got a little stronger pushback. Ma'am, what television company is doing that? And what country is allowing that? What president is allowing that? Stop. Peachtree Ministries, $20, 1999. Actually, super chat, Lineage Love in the building. Appreciate you. Said thanks for your work. Oh, definitely. I'm on it. Exposing Africans and Pan-Africans. Both are booty scratchers.
Black women. And I recall the first city that I was teaching in, I was the only Black woman in that city of 130,000 people. And so when men would see me, that's the image that they would have in their minds, even though that's the farthest thing. I mean, by that time I was in my mid-50s. But that's the but that shapes their attitudes, you see. And so there is that impact, and it's happening globally. So I was just curious as to how these notions get there, and I don't understand how these people in such small numbers are able to undermine us without white complicity.
Yeah. I mean, this come around in cosplay and just coming our circles, dissipating the energy, and not all of them, but enough. Getting into certain organizations like the Congressional Black Caucus, which don't do a damn thing for foundational Black Americans at all, but they do a whole bunch of stuff for immigrants. So that's a problem. They come around us talking about minority coalition, and then we elect these people, and then they get in and don't do anything for us, but do something for immigrant groups. Just like Kamala Harris. Hell, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama. Barack Obama's non-FBA. Kamala Harris, non-FBA. Those are great examples of how people get in certain positions and they undermine us and do the whole benign neglect against us. And that is a problem. So we don't want none of these non-FBAs to act as our representatives. We realize that these people are horrible representatives of us. They're not going to represent us properly. They're not going to honor our ancestors. So this is why the delineation movement has popped off. It's our job to honor our ancestors. It's our job to make sure the people of our lineage get the correct justice and the compensatory justice, especially when it comes to resources, because nobody else is going to do it, because we sat up here and we tried to play the kumbaya role. Nothing has worked out as far as that. So we're going to have to take control of that. And that's exactly what we're doing. Let me ask you this, beloved. You're married, right?
How do we get them to change their behavior without us, publicly tearing each other apart? Because it seems like there are a lot of people who just really, that's all they do.
Look, we're not interested in changing their behavior, which is delineating. They could do what they want to do. You dig?
Because it seems like there are a lot of people who just really, that's all they do.
We don't give a damn. At this point, we don't give a damn. We're focusing on us. What we want them to do, go fix your homeland. If you got any kind of hostility, go figure. Myron Gaines, all these people who come over here denigrating us. We ain't gonna do nothing with a Myron Gaines. I don't want you to do nothing but get your ass back to the Sudan, help your people. We're at the point, anybody who's remotely hostile to us, we don't want nothing to do with them. We ain't got to negotiate with them because we don't need them. That's the thing. And that's what they are tripping out about. They realize that we don't need them. You don't really benefit us at all. We don't need them.
Yes, she's going to highlight it. This is what I'm trying to say, like, bro, you got to slow down, bro. Like, you need people to vet your stuff, bro. You out here making a fool of yourself. Now look, now I could say, hey, you gotta check your mans. You know, I could hold you to somebody else, and that's all I'm asking. No, I should not be held to somebody else's
No, but
research.
I can tell you when I disagree with them niggas. It ain't like I don't argue with them.
All right,
You feel me? And if
all
they
right.
say something that I disagree with, I'm on that biscuit.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's it. But y'all channel is based on that though, so you expect a channel that's birthed by that to do that. But other channels that just trying to keep the peace, like, hey, you know, all right, whatever you get into, that's what you into, and but
so you might
there's a
not
greater
be
goal.
familiar, right? But you might not be familiar. Me and Unc beef for 3 months over African slavery and the slave trade. We beef for like 3 months.
What? Yo, just give me a quick rundown. Like, what could possibly be the beef on that? Like, this is I do think that's
They
common
they
history.
they were trying to say that Africans did not practice slavery. You dig
So
what I'm saying?
the homies are fake. Queen and Zinga, all these guys never existed.
Exactamundo. So we differed on that big time. Half of the stuff that you argue about Africans selling us to the European, we went through all of that. They fought me down tooth and nail. So I'm not. Only beef that I have is with that Abo stuff. Like it is not. That's not cogent. That don't go with nothing. Like and I'm not a Pan African. You feel me? So you know what I mean? Like we differ over there. Like, but I'm not even over there. I just popped up because of the conversation. So you dig what I'm saying? Like it's stuff that they argue with me, Chief Facts, Unc, and a couple other dudes came on and argued with me when I was saying, yo, I can accept the FBA term, long as it's not dealing with the ABO stuff. They went crazy on me. The same way Dr. Mayat said, yo, in one sense, I am FBA. But she said, I don't agree with the ABO part. And that we was here before Columbus and stuff. Like that's the
Yeah,
part that most of us have the
and
disagreement with.
and this is why we say, and people act like they deaf. We're saying that's not a requirement to be FBA, and people act like we're not saying that, and they know that. You could just Wikipedia, ChatGPT. I mean, you guys use these resources when it benefits you, but when it doesn't, nobody want to Wikipedia, Google AI. Nobody want to do that no more. Everybody want to rely on their own ignorance. It's like, dude. But I get it though. Like people hate certain groups or certain individuals, and they want to because people claim the same thing. Everybody's grouped in, and that's why I got some questions for those that would
So
like to
who
click
came
that.
up with FBA?
Tariq Nasheed.
So this is what they're basing it off of.
Okay. Now, and who came up with ADOS?
Yvette Carnell and
So is she the leader? Is she the leader?
I don't know.
Right. See, it's stupid. It's goofy, and then you got Jesse Jackson with African American. You got Melvin Charles with the Black American Heritage flag, like that. No, an idea. It's an idea. You say, I like that idea. That makes sense. I'm rolling with that.
But
The
it don't make him the
idea
leader.
over an idea.
It don't make Jesse Jackson the leader of all African Americans. I agree.
Right. So when people argue again, they could just Google, Wiki, all that stuff. They don't want to do it because they want to be right, but they're on the wrong side of history, and they get cooked on these panels. The Wannabes and myself and ex-architect, like they die on these panels because they will hold that position, and we know how to articulate and express those ideas very well. So you're not getting over it. Ain't no flim flam. That's not gonna work. An idea, and you take an idea don't mean that you're the leader. Like a lot of us sag our pants. We dress a certain way because it smells idea. We say cat, we say no cat. This is my idea. You're nobody leader. So you have a good idea, and sometimes you take the idea and do it better than them. Our culture is inventors and innovators. Okay, we're some of the best innovators in history. Yeah, we're innovators. So we hear something, we like it, we tweak it, and it's ours. And we believe we make it better and more fitting. Okay. So let me play the video real fast.
And this is why when you and I were arguing on the telephone, so I want the family to know, and maybe the people who are just watching us don't know, that a lot of these conversations that we have publicly are birthed from arguments that Unc and I have behind closed doors. This is why when you and I talked, I said, Unc, you don't think we should throw the term African American away? No, we shouldn't throw it away. I said, Unc, it is not specific to our lineage here in America. Anybody that comes over here who's a descendant, who is of African,
you sound like you.
To be an African American.
Then she went back to call herself African American. You did. so I'm saying, like, listen, bro. I went back and watched.
Like you right there.
I went back and watched all of these. I do that. I go back and watch 2-3 hours or something, clip it up, and be ready to cook somebody. So I got her. That's why she won't call it. I got her. Stuff like this. I'm waiting on her. But she just said it. Now look, Unc's doing a presentation. Watch this.
This is why I said I do believe that we should have a name that is specifically for us. Okay,
so by saying that, she don't believe African American is specifically for us.
Black immigrants cannot come into the country and hijack. And
so she's delineating. All right. How long ago is this? This is 9 months ago. Let me let you see. 9 months ago, she sounded like us. All right. This is why people be like, yo, the agents, they're getting paid. Like something going on here. Because she reverse pivoted, never came back and corrected this, just reverse pivot. And then you get mad at Lexus saying changed his mind, but she changed her mind.
Were appalled. You were like, no, African American, they know who's who, and they, you went through all that. But in your slide, these two bullets talk about exactly what I was arguing on the telephone that day. But please continue.
I know I'm sharp as a harp, though. Let me
finish. Hey, yeah, do you know he didn't finish though? Look, let me fast forward. Hold on.
She cooked them right there. That's crazy.
Legal status, contemporary African American is a broad identity.
Right. So look, so he got Freeman up here. All right, look, exactly what I said. Broad identity for all people. I said what I say. It's actually called POAD. It's POAD. Like the African Union calls it People of African Descent. POAD. Okay, freedmen, specific to descendants of enslaved Africans in the United States. We call this FBA, ADOS, and other names people want to use for that. So what I'm saying is to take away from this phone call, it doesn't matter what you name yourself because the people exist. Name changes, name goes, they get tweaked, but the people don't go. The people are here. You could call them Ninja Turtles. They're still here. They have a history and a legacy here. They did something as a collective. So the name, people argue the names like, yo, you won't get anywhere because our name is colored, Negro, Afro-American, Black American, Black, Black American, and things like that. You feel me? And now it's African American, I guess, all over again.
For all people of African descent in the U.S.
That's
now,
what I was trying to tell you.
Of course, linked to post-emancipation legal status.
So he's reading his own obituary.
How did he get out of this?
I don't think he ended up playing the whole thing, if I can remember. But he's reading his own obituary like Marcus Garvey. I don't know if you noticed that. If you knew that, but Marcus Garvey read his own obituary. They did him dirty in London. Yeah, he's in a hospital dying, and they wrote he already dead. He already died, and he had to read that on his deathbed. Crazy work.
Reconstruction, cultural and ethnic identity encompasses historical and modern experiences, and these are the sources: National Archives and Records Administration, Smithsonian African History. That
did you change your position?
No, I didn't. I'm still in the same.
She comprehended what you comprehended, what the chat comprehended, all together at the same time. Like, dude, you just cooked yourself, and he said, "I'm not changing my position." All right. So, Chef, I was going to say this to you.
Right.
So the Abos, right? So they have a belief. I think that they were. This is what I know for sure, that they believe that they were always here, and they didn't come on slave ships. It happened backwards, right? That they sent people to Europe, something like that. Is that or Africa, something like that, right? Or am I wrong?
They have multiple different beliefs, but that's one of them.
Right. But do they all agree on that they did not come on slave ships?
That no, I don't think that's the total belief. I think some of them say some black people did come on slave ships, but some of them say my people didn't because I can't find that in my lineage. So it's a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? It depends on which one you're
Yeah.
talking to. But the general belief is that they are indigenous to the Americas, right? And
Okay.
so that's the general belief, and it's mixed up. It's different beliefs all in there, but the consensus of what I've seen that they believe is that the misnomer African Americans are, native to America, and they was always here. You know what I mean? Came before Columbus, that type of shit.
Okay, so Tariq on his website have an origin story, right? He got origin stories of how people got here and were already here. So from what I know, he said some people were already here,
Hmm.
some people came on slave ships, right? And then some of the people that are already here admixed with the people from slave ships, right?
Hmm.
So some people believe that, right? Now that's a personal belief. That has nothing to do with an ethnogenesis that happened in America, because that's a fact. That's something that happened with real people. Now, belief is separate. People can believe they came from Planet Risk. Doesn't matter. So what I would say is this: you will argue that a lot of them did not. They were not always here. They came on what, slave ships, something like that.
Yes, the transatlantic
Okay,
slave trade.
got it. So now, if a requirement to be FBA is to come on through those slave ships to this country and experience chattel slavery, Jim Crow, Black Reconstruction, and those people experience that, even though they believe they didn't, aren't they still FBA?
Yeah, they would still be a part of the group, no matter.
That's why I don't argue it.
You could be in the Nation of Islam and
Right. Okay.
believe you Asiatic black man.
All right. So, but that's why I don't have to argue, because like, yo, either way, whether you're true or either you're wrong or right, you're still FBA. So that's how I came to that. Like, why I'm debating about that. My thing is to galvanize people within the lineage. So your personal beliefs, it don't, it's nothing over here. Are you FBA? That's it. And I tell them that. Oh, I've always been here, bro. I get that. Are you FBA? And once you say no, you're done. You got to move around.
But
Okay.
see, I know I get you, but I argue that I'm FBA, but I make a clear distinction that I ain't got nothing to do with that abo mess. Like, and
That's
that
fine.
that's the thing. You feel me? Like, if you ask Unc and then they beef with me over that, I say, yo, the why wouldn't I be FBA? The same way Dr. Mayat said that she was FBA or a couple shows ago, according to the definition, right? Not the abo definition, but the other definition. You feel me? She said it. Even James Small said he was FBA. You
We know.
feel me? According to the definition, you feel me? But he agreed to all of the definitions. He crazy. You feel me? He
Absolutely.
agreed that he a abo, he a African, he's an African American. Bro, like, yeah, it's time for them to sit him down. Like, period. Like, it's
Uh,
nonsense. But he agreed. You know what I mean? So
all right. So, all right. Because like it's either you fall into that definition, or you don't. And Tariq Nasheed, FBA, people should know that Tariq, he believed that was a more clear and concise definition for the lineage than Adolf. Right. That was his reason why he came with FBA. He felt like Adolf still allows, whether it's true or not. That's what he said. He said he believed Adolf still allowed immigrants to sneak in the back door. All right. But both requirements are damn near identical on how you're, part of. That's why I just say the lineage. So just to be clear. Okay, so I got that out. Okay, so now let me play the discussion between me and Unc and the slave trades. Okay, so now he said
are y'all gonna debate this?
we already did. I'm required for doing that, but he, in the chat. And matter of fact, he was on a panel with. I told him he was on a panel with Dr. Mayat, And she even said that the the Africans enslaved, raided other Africans and it's sold them to white folks. She even said he was there on the panel. He didn't argue her, and that was by the way, that was before my discussion with him. So he already learned that and still kicked against the pricks.
Bro, man, him argued that 2.5 years ago. I mean, for 3 months straight, we argued about the Africans' participation in slavery. Like, he fought tooth and nail, but I thought we got some clarity on that. He not gonna accept it, yo. Like, that's obviously. I mean, we broke up the pseudo killers. Me and Corey left over that argument. You feel me? Like, cause it was so out. Like, I thought he was already. I thought he was straight on that part. You dig what I'm saying? That's
All right. So when people say, "Hey, man, you need to hold people accountable to what they say," people I don't know, and no big deal to me. And this is people right hands mans. You dig? They clicking that. You know what I mean? This guy out here acting as a leader can't yield to correct information, and then will brag about how scientific literate he is. Like I challenge that. I think you just say it.
yeah, but you already said what your aim is. For me, whether it's Reggie, Unc, Smash, whatever, I argue with everybody. If I have a disagreement with them over something, then we gonna bang it out. If I got a disagreement with you on something, you know what I mean, that's just what it's gonna be. I'm gonna state my disagreement with you. Like, you know what I mean? So you never seen me, you know what I mean, in any platform where I disagree, where I'm not gonna make my disagreement known with you. Like, that's just how it's the internet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do that. So
Right. And that's why I said
go ahead.
that's why I said going forward, I want people to challenge me on what I said. Not somebody, not that for me, 2026, don't ask me about nobody else. I mean, not you. I'm saying this is for everybody out there. Because people want a low key indirect win. No, challenge me in what I say. I have a whole different thought about this than Tariq. Tariq calls other folks black. I don't. I say we're the only blacks. Everybody else is not, and there's something else. They're from their court. They're from their country, their tribe, and I go into the history of exonyms, endonyms, ethnonyms. I go into all that. What people called you and what you called yourself, and temporary terms, and and then we got the black is being used as an adjective. We say, well, which one of these guys use black as a proper noun with a capital B? So I call it capital B, lowercase b, or big B, little b. Like, which black are you? Big B or little B?
So they little bees.
All of them. The only big B started over here. Now because an exonym is somebody else calling you that. So the Arabs called the Sudanese people Balad al Sudan. That means black. That means someone else called you that. That's an exonym. They didn't call themselves that. They call themselves Sudanese people. So that's an exonym. So we're the only people. So now at one point, Arabs
So
and white
now
folks
they call themselves Sudanese, though.
Yeah,
so what do you do about that?
No, but they don't call themselves Balad al Sudan. Like that, you got that whole thing is the black. See, that is called the black Sudanese. Yeah. So, but somebody called them that. They already had a name for themselves prior to that calling.
Yeah, but now they identify as black with the name Sudan.
Nah, Sudan is a country in Africa, and that has nothing to do with an ethno. It's nothing to do with them. Like, there's if I type in Sudan right now, it's going to give you a definition. Okay, it ain't going to say what you just said. It's going to have its own definition of why that place is called Sudan.
So why is it called the Sudan?
Let's look it up. So now, look at it. Officially, the Republic of the Sudan is a country in Northeast Africa. It borders the Central African Republic to the southwest, Chad to the west, Libya To the northwest, east. Let's click the Wikipedia.
So what are you saying is not? You saying that the word Sudan for the country Sudan don't have nothing to do with the people being black?
When you say black, you're talking about see, here we go. Big B a little bit. You say
If it's a Arabic term, Balad
right,
as Sudan,
right.
meaning
Color
yeah,
black. That means color.
exactly.
Right. But
Right.
that's different
So
then
you're
because we
saying
don't
that
call
the
ourselves black as a
modern
color.
right. So but you're saying
Yeah.
that the word Sudan for the Republic of the Sudan don't have no connection with
No,
the Arabic
no,
term black
no. That's not what I'm
that was
saying.
talking about the people.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're using black as a descriptive term, you're out. Bro, I'm light as hell. I'm not black because I'm dark skinned. I'm not black because of a color, bro. I'm black because of experience. We didn't use black as a color in America. We use black as an experience. So that's why it's a proper noun in America. And they wrote it's an adjective. Adjectives are not capitalized. Proper nouns are. So that's the distinction. Proper nouns are not adjectives, and adjectives are not proper nouns. Adjectives describe, proper nouns are people, places, and things. Right. That is, but that's like a capital of a city, a name. That's why it's a proper noun. It's more important than a regular noun. You gotta give it its capitalization. It demands that. So we don't use black as a descriptor. They did. Well, somebody else did when they called them that.
Okay, go ahead, make your point. What you
Yeah,
about to
that is. So what I'm going to tell you is that Black Americans are the only people who use black as an ethnonym.
Okay.
Everybody else uses it as a descriptor, and it's a temporary name before they name themselves something else. So that's why all
So the black
right?
didn't have nothing to do with the descriptor at first?
Yeah. So when it comes to us, white folks, and look, thank you, because we're the only people on earth to turn an exonym into an ethnonym. There's nobody else that did that. Everybody's rejected. When the Arabs called Sudanese black, they rejected that. When white folks call other people black, they rejected that.
But why is
Okay,
their country named the Sudan now?
we're looking at it.
Right. Like
Look at it.
I think it's the same thing that you
No,
just
no,
explained about African Americans. Go ahead.
because you're talking about a land. Okay, you just said a country is called Sudan. That's a geographical area, a land, and
Right.
people call themselves after that land. So they said that's Sudan. I'm Sudanese.
Right. But what does the Sudan mean?
That's where we're going. Okay, etymology. Here we go. Okay, so North Sudan redirects. Okay, blah blah blah. The country's name Sudan is a name given historically to the large Sahel region of West Africa to the immediate west of modern day Sudan. Historically, Sudan referred to both the geographical region done, stretching from Senegal says a place, bro. It's no damn color. And so stretching from Senegal on the Atlantic coast to northeast Africa and the modern Sudan. Okay, so now watch this. The name derives from the Arabic, but so okay, watch this. The name derives from the Arabic Balad as Sudan, as I said earlier, or the land of blacks.
Right.
Color, descriptive, right? Color, descriptive. They're done.
How? It's saying the same thing. I'm biased.
No, bro, they're calling themselves the color. We didn't call ourselves. Okay, listen. White folks called us black. We didn't call ourselves black as a color. We called ourselves black as an ethnonym. I think you keep missing that. When they were called black, okay, cool.
I'm missing
Okay,
that. I think the same thing was happening, but go ahead.
Nah, yeah, because whatever. All right, look. Now I'm trying to explain it. I can go to some tools for you where it can be articulated for both of us. So let me do that for you right now. I got you. Let's go to the tiebreaker. I'm explaining it. You claim you're not getting it. Okay, cool.
Let's go to the tiebreaker. If
I got you.
black was put on them, black was put on us.
Yeah, but we changed. Okay,
hold on, as a descriptor.
Hold on.
First.
Yeah, but we didn't receive it. Okay, they received it as a descriptor. We didn't receive. Okay, family. I don't know. I'm doing this guy. They were called black as a color, They accepted the term as a color. We never accepted black as a color. We rejected it. Then we started to call ourselves black during the 1950s and 60s, but it wasn't based on the color. We called ourselves black as an experience. We were first called black in the 1800s, 1700s. We were called black around that time. I think the British, whatever, is calling us black as a disgrace to try to play us out like did most black people, most people of color throughout the world. But we never embraced it. Most people rejected it. So they embraced it as a color. We rejected the color. We then took it some 100, 200 years later and said we're black. We were called Negro in color, but when we named ourselves, we didn't name ourselves Negro. We didn't name ourselves color. When we finally named ourselves, it was black, and it wasn't based on color. Like they called themselves black on color. We called ourselves black through experiences, a unique, distinctive experience throughout America, throughout the world. So we didn't say we're black because we're dark skinned, broad nose, thick lips. That's not what we said why we were black. It still don't make sense.
I mean, it does, but
Okay.
I'd rather not even go down that. I
Yeah.
think you can argue that either way you want to.
No, you can't. You
Take
can't.
your way. If that's how you like, because
right.
if it started for me, if all of them was the script,
But you're not understanding language. Okay, I got it. But you don't. Obviously, you don't know what an endonym, X. Like that's something you got to look into. Take what I'm saying right now. Take this. Go type it in. After you get off, go type it in. Whatever tools you got, and then come back to me and tell me what you got. That's all. Like so now you haven't studied it. I got it. This is the language. It's a grammar thing. Go do that, and then come back and talk to me. And they say I'm biased. You're right. I kind of, that's all you gotta do. But yeah. So we're the only black people in the world. Everybody else is what they say they are. They're Sudanese. That's what they are. I'm black. Nice to meet you. This guy's Jamaican. This guy's Moroccan. This guy's Libyan. That's how that works. We're black. BLACK. They're Sudanese. And black is used as a race in America, like outside of how we use it. So when they're black, it's still not something called themselves. That's the group they're thrown into when they come to America. They're still Sudanese people under the racial term black. We're just black. There's no something else there. So we're black as a race. We're black as an ethnonym. So they're what? Black as a race, but Sudanese as an ethnonym? How does that work? So we're black as both race and ethnonym. They're not. They're done.
that's crazy.
Yeah, get them up out of here. Yeah, so now, and at one point, everybody rejected it anyway. And that's why I say we're repoing black. We're gatekeeping black. Y'all gonna be exactly what you said you were in the world's history. So Sudan means the land of blacks. Okay? And that's who you are. We're not the land of blacks. You agree with that? We're not the land. We don't call ourselves the land of blacks.
No, we not the land of blacks.
Yeah.
That would, but it, yeah, that's
So we
that's
call
wild.
ourselves black for different reasons, right?
Not originally. Like, so it's
No.
splitting
Okay,
hairs.
you're mixing up. So wait. They were called black by Arabs. We were called black by Europeans. So yeah.
Exactly.
So right.
As a
Okay. So
descriptor.
all right. No, I'm saying you missed what I just said. I said we called ourselves and they called themselves. We called ourselves black. Now it's we. There's no longer him or them or they.
Mm-hmm.
We call ourselves black, different from why Sudanese people call themselves black. That was the question.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know.
They
I say that.
all
I
right.
say that.
I got you. Hey, family, they called themselves black because they was black as hell. Color. That's why they call themselves black. We didn't call ourselves black until 1960, my boy. They call themselves black after a color. Yeah, I guess we are black. And that's an exonym. We're not exonym. We're ethnonym, bro. They were exonym. Sudan is an exonym. Somebody else called you that. And you agreed that that was good. We don't
So
call
then
ourselves.
for the African Americans, somebody called them that, and then they agreed to it.
Well, I don't know what an African American is, but for
Come
black
on
people,
now,
no, yeah, no, I don't know what an African. You made that shit up because again, that's a racialized term. That I know a lot of y'all Pan-Africanists. Now look, it's Black Power, it's Black Wall Street, it's a Black self-defense, it's Black City Plan, it's Black everything, Black crime rate. But you guys want to call us African something? Everything, all of their language is Black. But when it comes to identifying, they deliberately and intentionally don't say Black. They say African American all the time. Okay, that's
So when did you
intentional.
stop calling yourself African American?
But I never call myself African American. That's something we filled out. That's why I don't know if you're from this country. Like you're saying you are, but listen, I got aunts that's 75, 70, 68. I can put on three-way. Auntie, what did you call yourself growing up? You think you're gonna say African American? I got my mom, bro. I got access to my mom. I got access to uncles, older cousins. Nobody's saying we already.
No, I
did that.
I said you.
Yeah, no, I never call myself African American, bro.
Oh, okay.
Black, black. I mean, but none of us did. Ain't nobody call himself African American. Yo, when somebody said, "Hey, how we look?" African American. Give me a description. Okay, well, he had locks, right? He was African American. No, bro, it's Black. Black Wall Street, Black this, Black Panther. Ain't no African nothing.
So people walking around calling themselves African American. You're saying you've never seen that other than online with Pan Africans.
Okay. Say that again.
So you're saying in real life you never witnessed Black people calling themselves African American, like this some made up online stuff, African American. Hello?
Okay, I don't know how hard this is to understand, but ethnonym is your name. Two ways names are given normally. The most common way is obviously you name yourself and you define yourself. Okay, and that's called an endonym. Okay, the other unfamiliar way is that somebody else name you something and you take on their name and their definition. That's an exonym. Okay, so people were being called Black by outsiders. They're ops, either Arabs or white people. Okay, you took on their name and the definition that came with it, and it was usually disrespectful. It was a derogatory term. All right, cool. Exonym. We did not do that. Once we became free, once we became able and available to name ourselves, we named ourselves after the word Black, but it was not used as a descriptor as it normally was in history. We named ourselves Black and we made that adjective, that descriptor, a proper noun. That's never happened before. Okay, we put a capital B on a word that would normally have a lowercase b. We said put some respect on this name, this word. Then that's Black. We then defined Black, and it wasn't a color, my guy, like the outsiders name or call people Black. They didn't even name them Black. They called them Black, but it was a descriptive term. For us, Black was not a color. It was an experience, a lived experience. Okay? The Black experience. So that's an endonym. And we put the definition to it, proper noun. Nobody's done that. Nobody took a color, adjective, called themselves after it, defined it, and made it a proper noun. Put some respect on it, made the color be capitalized, taking it from the adjective sense to a proper noun. We did that. Everybody else were called and named by their ops and they took on the definition of their ops. Exonym. Right? Are we clear now? That's an exonym. These same people that took on names from outsiders and their definitions, a lot of them end up renaming themselves anyway, and that's it. But we're the only people to take on black or a color, but black. We're focused on black and take it for ourselves. We're exclusive to us. It's defining our lived experience in America. Is called the black experience, starting from U.S. chattel slavery all the way down to 2025, going into 2026. Endonym. Everybody else who so-called were called black by their ops, that was a nickname, because the first time they got a chance to name themselves, like the Haitians, they said 1804, they said we're Haitians. Other folks said we're Ghanaians, we're from Ghana. Other folks said we are Congolese, Sudanese, Eritrean, not black. Okay, so all those names I mentioned, those are not nicknames. Those are not buffers. Those are their real names that they named themselves. When we named ourselves, it was black. 1960s and in the 1970s, the government made it a racial term or whatever they did. So it was on the books. Black. We're the only black people in that sense. Took a word like black, made it an ethnonym, capital B, proper noun, no adjective, and defined it ourselves. It's nothing to join. It's nothing to later on come behind us and be that as well. It's no black Brit. Those people are from West Africa, and they're Nigerian, and others are from the island, the Caribbean, right? So that's a term they took on later, cosplaying us. So in America, my race is black African American, but it's a race. You're too dumb to know that. That's why I put the link down there. That's a race, but that's not exclusive to just black Americans. That's everybody African descent that comes to this country. They're putting down. So, but that's not, you are not your race. The guy who said that, so you're not clicking that link. You are not your race. You are your ethnonym. You are your tribe, or where your country is. The man of your country. You're the countryman. You're not your race, my guy. One time that's called successful. That's called, you found something out. You know what you're doing. But I just invested in thumbnails, better topics, be more consistent on my times. It's simple shit, and business stuff, and that's what helped it grow. And I focus, right, and I just focus more on me rather than everybody and their mother. Right. All right. So now, with all that being said, so when people start to see, and then I'm talking, I took a position. I'm FBA, Foundation of Black American. I'm ADOS. I'm an American descendant of slavery, and I'm a descendant of a freedman. These are all facts, right? This ain't something that I joined or this was inherited. Like I have a lineage that goes back to 1700 sometime. So these are facts. Now I know this. I know that we were using wrong language. Like there's no disaggregated term for us. When we're called African American and Black American, we're grouped with everybody who's African descent. Now the difference is that they can peel that off and be considered the most successful immigrant group in the country. That's called Nigerians.
Now,
so you see,
Sheffrin be in that very discord, he be arguing that very point that you about to say right now. Sheffrin be in there arguing. He be the only one in there arguing the very point that you finna say, that is no delineation. Like when they fill out an application, like a guy from Nigeria can come here and he fill out an application, he gonna check African American. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is this argument that Sheffrin be having. So like that's what I'm saying. Like for you to be here saying like Sheffrin is Pan-African and you've been beating him up for years and whoop-de-whoop. It's kind of wild to me because, like,
hold on.
I fight this guy every day.
Wait, so before we go backwards, right? So let me just tell you how, because I was watching, and this is for everybody who holds this position. So now what I'm saying is, like, so I'm saying anybody can call and debate me on this, not some random talking point or defend or the Indians. Yeah, I made that up on that channel, talking about I was siding with. First of all, y'all don't even know the reason for my channel. And speaking of channel changes, shit went from pseudo killer to this and that to Amara Squad to now it's community sketch.
Believe me, I'm biased. You know who you talking to, bro? The guy who done argued to the cows came home. Well, on all kinds of different topics, bro.
Right, now I get it, but what I'm saying is, so if Chef is arguing that, and he's actually arguing
so
it.
To bring up Unc wouldn't do any good in this conversation. Like, it's whether Unc is a wild ass nigga or not, we probably all agree on that, right? So,
okay, see,
to bring that up, that ain't gonna do any justice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's the thing though. But when y'all bringing me up, you're bringing up Sanchez, you're bringing up this person, that person. So it's like, well, they only talk about me. They don't bring nobody else up. Same energy. But look, so if that's Chef's argument and that's his position, I'm like, well, what could the pushback be? Because either he's wrong or he's correct. So if people are pushing back on that, I want to talk to those people. I want them to come over here, and I want to hear what they got what rebuttal they got against that.
So those people are the ones that push back. Usually, usually they Pan-African. Usually they have
yeah, but some of them ain't though.
Yeah, some of them ain't, but and a lot of them. So when I hear the conversation, most of the time I hear like kind of like divisiveness, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little divisiveness. That's the argument that they have. Like it's divisive or whatever. That like ADOS and FBA is kind of a divisive thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right now,
whereas, you know, and I don't know that. To me personally, I don't know that like some, you know, Nigerian immigrant is my biggest challenge. You know, I run into a lot of challenges in my 40 years here in America. Some Nigerian ain't never been one of them. But,
I got it. See, but again, right, because that's how you phrase it. But I do know this. Maybe I'll know a little more. I know this. I know that some Nigerian come here with white supremacist viewpoints. They say they got it from their parents, and then they find themselves in politics, right? They find themselves mayors of a city, and they find themselves in a school board, and they find themselves in position of power to allocate money, fundings, and resources. So to me, that's problemsome. You come to this country, look like me. That means you can misrepresent me. You can speak for me, and you can deny stuff and say, no, we don't need that. We're good. And you came over here totally different than how I got over here, and and one of us have a legacy, a lineage legacy.
How would Black Americans get in a position for some? Like, how wouldn't that be? So if somebody came and got in a position to speak for me and then deny me and control my circumstances, wouldn't that be a fuck up on my part?
No, because we know that this country is ran by white supremacists, and they use their systemic racism, and that's a real power. And that shit got us at 0.0%, of the wealth. So that's a real power. And I'm not going to act like it doesn't exist. That shit is real. And these people,
white supremacy definitely does exist.
Right. Yeah, and then like I said, people come over here and they align themselves up with white supremacists, and they call themselves conservatives, right? And they again. It ain't like they coming as Jamaican conservatives.
Because they dilute because of somebody comes over here and dilutes.
But I wasn't done though. No, I wasn't.
Go ahead.
That's my point. My point is, I know what you guys do. You guys act like they're powerless people. They're just fucking third class citizens
no, they can actually get power. But I'm talking about diluting meaning mentally, because they could dilute themselves mentally. Go ahead.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is Black Americans we're the only people who was subjected to another people for as long as we live, right? So we've been deprived, not like nobody else, neglected, benign neglect, all that. We got a whole history, a whole everything that happened to us. And matter of fact, we didn't gain riches, and we're literally taken from us, some Debo shit, right? Urban renewal. We know about all this stuff, right? So all the way until 1968, at least on paper, where it was taken off the books, right? And then we know that our efforts allowed everybody who couldn't come in, even white people who could not come in this country, who had quotas. We know that our fight, our plight ended up benefiting everybody who couldn't come here before 1965. They're here now. And these same people who Dr. King looked out for and Dr. King made sure that they were protected by civil rights. Dr. King made sure that they could move around and get to resources, and not just him, his whole organization. So making sure these immigrants come over here and we're good. These same people, their lineage, their descendants, same people had the nerve to, even white people, like I said, they also benefit from our plight, can look back at us and say, you guys are lazy. You guys are this, you guys are that. When these guys are being, like Teresa, she said, allowed to be progressive in this country. They're being allowed to be progressive, right? They're not targeted. These guys got flags in their car. So they keep saying, if a police officer pulls us over, they can. No, they can, because you got a damn Trinidadian flag in your car. You didn't even get pulled. They already know who you are before they pull you over. And you got a Jamaican flag. And this guy got this flag. No, they know it. The Barbadian flag. No, they know exactly who the hell's in that car. And
some racist white cop in Kentucky gives a damn about a Trinidadian.
Yeah.
Like he gonna respect the Trinidad guy more than me.
Yeah.
I don't think he give a fuck about neither one of us. Both of us niggas. He's not seeing that nuance that you seeing. All of the nuance that you see. Like that white police officer that jump out that car. He's not seeing none of that shit.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
I disagree.
I'm not saying it's not valid. What I'm saying is when the police officer get out the car, all he see is nigga. That's it.
But I don't believe that. And let me, because again, like, I don't know if you even know what they were doing. Okay, do you know what they were doing when they came to Ellis Island to separate themselves from me? So we're talking about Afro-Caribbeans and West Africans. Do you know how they were differentiating themselves from us so that white folks could give them a pass and allow them in there?
They were deluded, but yeah, go ahead. I hear you. They tried to do something that was deluded. This delusion.
They were showing their paperwork. Certain organizations they were down that only they was part of and we weren't, and they were using their accents when a police officer talked to them, they would speak with an accent, and guess what? And they were left alone. So white Americans, they know that Black Americans, we deleted, backspace their ancestors, their relatives in the Civil War. We have that history, and that's something that they never gonna forgive us for. We fought and we ended their money. Not the people coming over today. All right. So they have just like many people say when they take their ass to South Africa, they say those people in South Africa do not look at Black Americans with the same hatred they have for the South Africans over there, because they understand that we're not tied to anything over there. So they don't have the same strong feelings, and that's everywhere.
Right. Everywhere. They would have the same strong. Yeah. Once you do figure out the delineation, right? I guess they would. But I'm saying, like, on at face value, I don't think they really, like, some cop is really trying to make that difference.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. So let me give a case in point then. Okay. Let me not say anybody random. Let me point to an actual individual who African descent, Caribbean descent, that he's not Black American, and who set us back some hundreds of years. You ready for this one?
Oh, I'm definitely sure you can give some examples of some wild guy or whatever. Go ahead, though.
No, he ain't wild. It's Marcus Garvey. It's like he's one of the first leaders of Pan-Africanism. He came over here.
Wild guy, in my opinion. Scam artist, snake oil. If you ask me, but go ahead.
He definitely was. Yeah, but he okay. But he came over here from another country. He disrespected everything we were fighting for, everything we always fought for, our wins, our L's. He didn't give a fuck about none of that. He said, I got the answer. Follow me. Forget about which answers you already accomplished here and what you're building on, adding to. this is the answer, and the answer is leaving the country. And that was never an answer for nobody. That was never an answer for no Black American in this country, leaving the country. We fought for rights. We fought equality. We fought for all type of shit. That was not on our mind.
That's
to
part
leave
of
the
the
country.
uniqueness. Yeah, we built this, so we would. Why would we leave it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what I'm saying is that energy is constant. So when they come over here, they like to feel entitled, like they have the answer, but they fled from a country that they didn't have answers for, and they're the majority. It's like, hold on. So you're gonna come over here as a minority amongst the strongest white people on human known history, and you're gonna have this the answer for us? And you just fled your country, and you're the majority.
Why? That's kind of the case. Like, you know what I'm saying? No,
you know,
it's just Jamaicans or Islanders or whatever. Like worldwide, folks want to come to America for financial gain or whatever.
Yeah, but people don't come to give us. Yeah, but people don't come to give us answers though. Like people just mind their business normally.
When Marcus Garvey came and said he had the answers, well, like Black people should have shot him. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, they tried to, but he was speaking. But here's the snake oil. He was speaking to the poor, and the Red Summer just happened where the KKK had to. Yeah. So we know that he studied us. Like we know that he was over in Jamaica studying our plight, and he knew exactly where to come. He take his bum ass to the South. He came to the safe.
He how to run his scam, right?
Yeah, he came to the north, but north.
They wouldn't have had that kind of money to fund his scam in Jamaica. But go ahead.
Got it. So, well, we couldn't fund it either. And then you're selling stocks. Like, yo, what the fuck? Stocks? We looking like, what the? So our leaders are like, what? What's he selling? Stocks? Oh, get this guy the fuck out of here, man. So like they already like was on him from day one. Like, yo, okay, look, watch this guy. And then he just proved them right over and over and over where we had to do the Garvey Must Go campaign. But what I'm saying is that they had, now this is one, remember you said,
the government did that for us. I think the government put out for us in that case.
No,
go ahead.
That ain't, do you know, that's actually false. Yeah, that's actually.
Did they ship his ass out of here?
Yeah, but why? Why?
Because of mail fraud.
No. We put them on them. It was our leaders who contacted, that's known as the FBI now. We contacted the FBI and said, get this guy there. He's scamming us. Right. No.
The how they prosecuted him was through mail fraud.
Yeah, of course. Because he's scamming us. They don't care about that. He's scamming us. Okay. But the minute he started to commit mail fraud, that's when it's okay. We got him. Now we got something legit.
No,
because
you thought I was being serious about the white folks looked out for. That was hyperbole.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, I'm just speaking factual. But what I'm saying is, you said there's one guy. You said there's one immigrant can't do much, and I'm showing you one immigrant did a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm saying like I'm sure what I was saying is I'm sure is a guy that you could point to that was doing some wild shit. Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So we deserve to have
what I'm saying in general.
But we don't know. We don't know. We're trying to stop the next Garvey. So what I'm saying is, brother, we have a right to have a never again moment. So now the Jewish community, anything that's remotely smells like anti-Semitism, they're on it. They're knocking it out. And it might not even be that. But because they really stand by that never again chant. Okay, so we got one, sir, we got one too. And we saying anything that smells like it. So when these folks come over here and say that they've been trained by their mothers to stay away from us, we're lazy, all that shit, that smells like a Garvey shit. So we are on them immediately. We ain't giving no lace to that shit.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, if your mama told you to stay away from niggas, you probably should listen to your mama. I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah, but we know that there's a lot of people who give these guys excuses. Oh, just ignore them. No, sir.
White folks told their kids, their daughters to stay away from them.
Right. So that's why we don't see them that's why we don't see them as no different. Like when people say the enemy, I always ask them, who's the enemy? Because I recall the largest human trafficking event in history was the transatlantic slave trade. I'm asking people, who's the enemy, the buyer or the seller?
The seller.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Who's the enemy, the buyer seller? Yeah. So we don't look at people because they're skin folk, they're automatically kin folk. We look at actions, right? We see consistency, and we see what they do when they actually come here. What effort they're giving. They're here. They are our minority. They're here in the small millions. We're 43 million deep. You would think that you come to another country with other melanated people. You know what? Let's rock with them. Like, they're the larger body politic. That's like common sense. That's not what's happening. Like, let's join their fights and their plights, and let's see how we can get some shit snuck in there.
They didn't come over here for that. They came over here for financial gain.
Right. And that's
to be a part of
I know, but that's what we thought okay. What I'm saying is, that's why I say we and them got two different worldviews. We looked at it as, is us against white supremacy. Like, when I say us, all melanated people. That's how we looked at this. And when they came over here, we see that's not how they seen it. And we were kind of confused because we're trying to join them in our organization. Some join and whatever, but we thinking that they have the same worldview as us. Like, we got to stop white supremacy, global white supremacy. And like you're saying, when they came over here and we see that's not on their brain, we're like, what the fuck happened here? You know, that caused some confusion. And then we watched them, and here comes some undermining. Here comes some sabotaging. And then the reparations thing pop up, and we see a lot of these guys running it and purposely losing. Well, that's my opinion, but they gotta be, because you cannot claim no race-based reparations, and they all did. As a matter of fact, there's a reparation case right now in New Jersey, and is led by a goddamn tether who's arguing for race-based. So now, look, we already exposed you cannot do race-based. That's like clearly known now. So they probably didn't know at that time, and maybe they did, but we know now you can't do it. There's a guy right now in New Jersey arguing for race-based reparations. So it's like, yeah, at some point,
he's doing something within.
But you can't do a race-based nothing. Like, that's at this point, it's common sense, because Adolf said FBA already exposed that back in 2016, and we're like 9 years later, and these are big movements with big noise. You know, we the ones that Adolf is the reason why California had changed the reparations stance from race. From race to lineage. And matter of fact, they did a vote, and we won 4-5. They voted for lineage-based reparations, because it's common sense, and legally you can't do nothing race-based. That's an L right away. So what I'm saying is, like, we have a loud roar. So for this guy, for this tether to come over here and argue for reparations, I don't know how he even doing that as an immigrant, but then he making it race-based in 2025. That's the problem. We're like, okay, dude, you can't say ignorance today now. You got ChatGPT, you got Grok, AI, and come on, dude. Like, what are we doing? So at some point, it becomes intentional. And we call that undermining, sabotaging, and that's a huge issue for us.
Well, I definitely hear you. I mean, I ain't really mad at much you said there. You know what I mean? I ain't really got objections to much you said there, but you know, I just came on just to let you know that I was never.
Okay, so now let me explain why I said what I said about you. All right. Well, why I called you a coon and whatever I did. What's going on, bro? Yeah. So let me explain that. All right, Stu Pease in high school. They got a long history. Like, X had a full debate that I played like 20 times through all my 3 channels. You can find it right now. Just any channel, FBA Defense Unit, Unbiased Ron, or FBA News and Updates. Just go to search and type in Stu Pease or X Architect. You're gonna see them debate for like 40 minutes. X cooked the
good debate. I can see that being a good discussion.
But it wasn't. It was one-sided, and then Stu Pease. I mean, it was not even close at all. And all Stu Pease did was disrespect Black Americans to try to win a debate versus like what they were talking about. So we're lazy. Being bad faith arguments like this. Well, the Nigerians are doing better, you guys. Okay, so X articulate. He says, Stu Pease, are you dumb? Nigerians are an immigrant group. They are only compared to other immigrant groups. You can't compare a small group to a whole populace of people. You compare population with population, and you compare groups with groups. He made that very clear to this guy. But because he'd be stuck in his emotions, he still argued that point. And he said other hateful things that was towards Black Americans. And Haskell did the same thing. And they always have done that on my channels.
So you call me a coon because of stupid.
Yeah. Right. Because you got a guy on it. Matter of fact, Chief X called him out. This guy was the title's FBA, but he's lying about ADOS. He's lying about I mean, like to me, I'm gonna be real. If somebody can't see that Stu Pease is a fucking hater of the Black Americans, I'm good with them. I'm gonna just be real. If somebody can't see that this dude has straight hatred.
Conversations with Stu Pease though.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I don't think we don't really have like that discussion. But when we do have that discussion, like he ain't never said nothing like kind of off the wall, like it's I've heard. You know what I'm saying?
Well, ask him some questions. You'll see, because he can't hold it in. Like I didn't even know he's like that. And then I said the origins before you guys can ever say I'm grifting. You out your goddamn mind. It was Stu Pease and Haskell kept bringing up ADOS and FBA on my panels when we were talking about. I was ignoring them. I kept saying get back to topic. So you guys got to know. You don't know that, but all this stuff is live recorded. I know where they all are at, and I should tell them, hey man, get back on topic, because I knew where it was going to go. So, okay. So then finally I'm like, all right, let's talk about it.
I've had some discussion, but I never heard like that discussion on your panel before, like the AD.
Oh, yeah.
The ADOS. Usually you about something else when I was.
Yeah, exactly. And they kept bringing, like we're talking about rappers, who the best rapper. We're talking about boxing. We're talking about everything. And maybe some Dwight York. And then Stu Pease and Haskell, because they be having these conversations amongst themselves. On my panel, they would bring up Tariq Nasheed, Yvette Carnell. Oh, they divisive. And then I'll say, I'm like, ho, bro, we're not doing that. We're talking about this. And then when they kept doing it, I finally was like, all right, look, what y'all want to talk about? Now, you even said it. You said divisive. Okay, then y'all want to jump the gun and like be disingenuous. The division came when they would come into, I recall them calling Tariq Nasheed spaces and trolling and debating and arguing, roasting. And he's roasting back. He's a funny guy. He's a comedian. And so people would clip the roasting part, not the serious. He also had serious conversations with them. When they call and say, hey, what is it about? Blah, blah, blah. He'll be straight up real with them, no jokes. But they would come with the jokes or the disingenuous or the bad faith arguments undermining us. And then it goes there. But when they initially call, it'd be a legit conversation about our talking points, reparations, delineation, self-identification. These be serious conversations with some of them. And then some come with the trolling shit. Then he gave them nicknames. Okay, so what people do is they clip that. They clip the roasting session, not how it started, and say, hey, look, they're being divisive. So if anybody fall for that, they're an idiot. Because I know me. I need context. Yo, you give me 3 seconds. You give me a 30-second clip. Yo, let me click where's the rest of it? And anybody serious won't even do a video. We'll clip it. See, when you clip something and play it, there's the option to listen to the whole thing. Like, all my shit are clips. I don't make videos. I don't make short videos for Movie Maker. All of my stuff are clips where if I send it, you guys can click it and see the whole context. These guys are making videos. So you can't even click to see where this original conversation stemmed from. So like that's just bad research, bad faith, everything right there. You made a video. You didn't even clip it. And the clip feature is free. It's there.
I don't know that everybody all savvy with that. At least I mean, I know how to do it.
Then stay off the internet. Then, if people are lacking, and they trying to come in these spaces, and people like me know this shit, and then that's why they get cooked. You know, you come over here lacking. You know what happens when you lacking? It'll end up good for you. When anybody got beef and they're lacking, it never ends up well for them.
But yeah, so I mean. I don't know. I think you did a little bit of an evolution yourself, though.
Go ahead, start. Let's go.
I don't know that you always seen things the way that Tariq Nasheed, see things.
Like what?
Well, it was a time where I can remember a time where you thought that like maybe Tariq Nasheed was maybe like some type of scam artist or snake.
No. Never said that. So now let me tell you what I said. Cause I know there's nobody on earth I agree with fully. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So Tariq, I'm fully jabbed up. He's not. All right. Right. So I disagree there. All right. So there.
Oh, you talking about
Yeah. I'm fully jabbed up. Okay. That's what we're trying to tell people, man. We can have differences and still be brotherly and sisterly. We don't have to agree with. I'm not into UFOs. Okay, wait. Let me say this for the chat, because we're talking to a chat, and the video will be replayed. Like, you know, they replay my videos even if they don't catch it live. So this is for them. I always maintain that we're 43 million. There's some Tariq might like the Lakers. I'm gonna like the Knicks. All right, and we're gonna argue and disagree. That's okay. He's going to be into UFOs. I'm not UFO at all. Tariq is into some type of spirituality. I'm not. Okay. So, but these are good disagreements. It shows that we're not yes men towards each other. All right. Even me and ex-architect debate all the time. We differ on the school system. We differ on what is the problem. He says the teachers, I say outdated information. All right. So, but that means that we don't get along now, and we not. No. So I'm a real guy. My name is Unbiased for a reason. I'm going to let you know when I disagree, and I'm never going to agree with certain things I don't disagree with. But when you say something that I think is brilliant, I'm going to give you flowers. Because I know the conversation in 2001. You don't, when Obama was running for president, and they was naming him the first black president or the first African American. I know for a fact. I got clips, and I know that time, because DJ Focus, Dad's Nation of Islam. All right. And as soon as he ran for candidacy, he did lectures. I got video lectures in 2003, 2002. And DJ Focus' dad said Obama's not black. He's from another country. Okay. And I know that was the argument at the time. Many people standing up saying he's not black. And then they actually said the acronym DOS. Of course, they said it. They said he's not a descendant of slaves. Not just him. You had white people say Obama is not a descendant of slaves. So they were saying DOS, and we just ain't put it together. We didn't even have a word for it. The sister Dickerson, she was saying this. Like, they was laughing at her because they were kind of confused what she was saying. She said he's not black. See, but at that time he was black, because black just means somebody to the average idiot, somebody who's just dark skinned or of African descent. But she clarified, but there was no real term for that. So she said, well, he's not a descendant of slaves. So immediately when she had to think of something real fast to show how he's not black like us, she said descendant of slaves. And everybody stopped laughing, and they understood what she meant. Mm-hmm. So all Yvette Carnell did was have a light one day, a genius moment where they said, okay, I got it. I got the terminology. Since people were already using DOS way back in 2001, let's stay right there. And let's just throw the A on there, because there's many descendants of slaves all across the world. Let's throw that A there. Now that A is American. American is a demonym. I got to teach people this shit. A demonym is the shortcut name of the nickname of the country. The country is called the United States of America. So you cannot lump up the Americas when we say American. So when you say American descendant of slaves, that's a demonym for the United States of America. Now, when somebody say, nah, Americans is all the Americas, I know that's an idiot that don't understand. We use it as a demonym. Okay, we don't use it as that. We're talking about all the Americas. All right, so we know that when it's said American, we don't gotta clarify that a demonym is a real word, and Americans are demonym, and Nigeria is their demonym. It's called the Congo, some other shit, the real name. And there's many demonyms for many countries. So she threw the American there because she knows it's a demonym that only leads it to us, this country and this government, in chattel slavery. So U.S., United States of America, descendant of slaves. Mm-hmm. And so all she did is put the A there, so the confusion won't be like, well, there's many people from different Americas, and that's why the A was there as a demonym to specify and target. No, we're talking about U.S. chattels, U.S. United States of America. That's all. USA, basically. Right. That's also a nickname, right? Abbreviation, because that's a long ass title. So we just made it short. but so she said that Tariq Nasheed came behind that, and he felt like that term wasn't all exclusive, like it wasn't airtight as they think it is. He thought he sees some loopholes how somebody could come, immigrant could come and tag on to that. And he said, okay, look, because again, they kept saying we all been slaves somewhere. Because that I know the arguments that was going on at that time. I watched all those fucking podcasts, unbeknownst to Stu Pease and Haskell. They thought they was going to do an ambush on me. But let me say, he's okay. The foundational will eliminate the whole argument. We've been slaves somewhere too. Okay, well, you haven't been foundational here. And matter of fact, we all say, you know what? We like that term better because we don't want to be associated all the time with something old like slavery. So we said, yeah, and because I seen that something shame, we know that people from other countries would use that to shame us. So, all right, look, we're black, we're American, and foundational is our contributions are free labor, cheap labor, all that convict leasing, sharing carbs, all that stuff, what we did for this country. And I want to say this lastly, because you got people like the Italians and the Chinese who expanded the railroads west. You have the Irish who was in the steel mills and they were in the coal mines, right? But the difference is they were just there. We did all of that. So we did what they did and more. We did tobacco, sugar, cotton. We did all that shit. Railroad tracks, steel mines, and the what's the last one? The coal mines and the steel mills and the coal. So we did all that. They didn't. No, none of those groups did all of it. They did one thing or two. We did all of it. So they say, hey, we're foundational too. Yeah, I guess you could say, you contributed, but you're not foundational in that you were involved in every aspect of making this country great.
Right.
That's all. So now, just off that, I don't think there should be pushback from there. Oh, Tariq made it up. Oh, okay, so what? And then I see Unc and Chief. Somebody got him. So now we got him because it was Thunder. I think Thunder did a good job actually. Thunder did what X-Architect did to Unc. See, Unc. I just can't believe that people still be following Unc, knowing that he's Mr. Confirmation bias. So X did what Thunder did. He showed him the definition of FBA. It's the first paragraph on the website. What Unc does is skip that and go to something else that's different from the definition. The definition is laid out. That's the first thing laid out, what a foundation of Black American is. Now, Unc is so crazy, I was going to say something else, that X knew he didn't read that part. He skipped somewhere where that's confirmation bias, that's cherry picking. He went where he wanted to go. So X read the definition off. He didn't tell Unc where he got it from. He said, Unc, does this definition describe you? That fool said yes. And he was reading Tariq Nasheed's definition of FBA. So be like, oh, so you got a problem with just Tariq's acronym. Right, not the definition, it's the acronym. Then you run to 3 strikes, he run to 3 stars somewhere. The 3 stars is separate. That's not the definition.
I don't, because see, well, at least even me, well, I'll speak for myself. I can't speak for all these other folks, but what I'll say is, so you can, when you define the FBA, I could identify as that myself. But when you, a lot of times there's baggage that comes along with certain names, the way the way things are in a group. So
explain the baggage that comes with FBA.
Yeah, so like with the FBA, right? Fine. When you read I guess if you define it in the way that, I don't know what the definition was, but I'm sure you can find a way to where I could definitely agree with it. You know what I mean? And then, but
what's the baggage?
So it's baggage that comes with that, though, right?
Like what?
So like there's an ideology that comes with the way Tariq Nasheed. It's an ideology with his group or the FBA, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And so FBA is associated with Tariq Nasheed. He got a certain type of rhetoric, you know what I mean, that comes along with that. And sometimes, people don't identify with that part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about They got to make up something. Okay, first of all, there's no ideology. Tariq gave the definition. Now, anything outside of that, that's personal. So if he says, hey, man, some people were here before, that's personal. That's not a requirement, bro. That's not a requirement to be FBA or ADOS. The requirement is the ethnogenesis. So for people that believe they were here, people who believe they came on slave ships, that's your origin story. But that's not the requirement to be FBA. So if you only was here before the slave ships, if you only came by way of slave ships and you never underwent the U.S. child slavery, you're not FBA. So there's a specific requirement to be FBA, and coming on slave ships ain't the only requirement. And or being here all time. That's not enough. You have to go through U.S. chattel slavery before we even have a conversation.
No, so you said, say again. I misheard. You said, okay,
cool.
You only came through the slave ships. You're not FBA. Are you still there?
Yeah, my mic is just like, oh, I think my son destroyed it. Okay, so it might be me. It might be me because he's 4, but it might be me though because I keep it in. Like, you don't take the best care of it. You dig? I throw it in the bag, so it's probably me. Just blaming his little ass. But so let me just make it more simpler. A requirement to be FBA is U.S. chattel slavery. If you didn't go through that, however you got here is meaningless. You have to go through U.S. chattel slavery. There's people who got here and got shipped right to the Caribbean. They're not FBA. And I think a lot of the people, I think it's a lot of mixture. Like, so, some people were born over here, I guess, after a while within slavery, but those people were brought over here too from the Caribbean. Right. And they're FBA. Right. See, we already covered that. See, like, there's no confusion with us. See, people like to talk about it, but they don't like to talk to us because talking to us, some answers are finally delivered. Yeah, those people were brought over here. That don't matter. If they stayed here the whole way and had descendants, they're FBA. It's that simple. You have to stay here, go through the ethnogenesis, complete ethnogenesis, and be known as an American citizen your entire life, you're FBA. But chattel slavery starts the conversation.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the slave? I ain't getting the slave shit part, though.
Okay. No, I just summed it up. I was talking to 2 different audiences. Okay. So I just without adding too much confusion, because I was talking to people because there's people who say I came on slave ships. I was not here before slave ships. I was talking to them. And then there's people saying I never came on slave ships. I was already here. So I was talking to 2 different groups at the same time, trying to address both of them. And that's why I say, so to be more clear.
Was here?
No. I'm saying for people who, okay, listen, bro. You can't gaslight me. I'm saying for people that believe that I were talking to them. So I'm saying those stories.
I'm trying to get clarity.
Right. So, but you got to listen. I'm giving you clarity right now. I'm clarifying. I'm saying.
I'm asking clarification questions, right, bro.
Okay, cool. And I'm trying to answer it. You're cutting in.
I don't like when people be like, "Oh, you gaslighting." It's like, bro.
But you are though, because I know what you're doing. All right, but check it out. It ain't gonna work. So let me say this. People came on. Right. I got you. I know. But people came over here on slave ships, right? That don't mean they went through chattel slavery, right? We agree. Some of those people got shipped off somewhere else, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Right.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So they're not FBA. Now, for those who like to say they were already here, they're not necessarily FBA either. If they didn't go, so I'm saying bragging about that ain't good enough. You got to now prove your ass went through chattel slavery. Cause you was always here, you ain't go through that. You're not FBA.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, how would you have went through chattel slavery if you wasn't on the slave ships? It's kind of
because. Hard. But if you're already here, okay, watch this. Watch how easy that is. If you're already here, you didn't come on slave ships, and you look like us, and they throw you in the midst of us, you're doing slavery.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Yes.
all of that. That's what I'm saying. Like all of that baggage, like that's to me,
That's history.
that's
that's light work. Nah.
That's just
All right, cool. I mean, but
to me.
yeah, but
So
that,
that's
see,
why
okay, cool. Well, you know, what's worse baggage?
saying like that's was like
Worse baggage
why
is saying you're
people
African American.
identify. That's why you.
Yeah, but
Go
okay,
ahead,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Worse baggage is saying, are you African American?
Yeah,
That's worse baggage. So you're a race, but what is your ethnonym?
I don't know what the ethnic.
Yeah, see, okay. All right. So what is your ethnic label? So outside of being part of a race and outside of being part of the descendants of African race. Okay, so let me give you an example. A Nigerian is considered African American. That's his race, but his ethnic standing on label is Nigerian or Yoruba, right? A Jamaican is considered African American as a race.
Black
So now I'm asking. Say that again?
Black African American.
Black. So, wait, hold on. So African American. I mean, you said the same thing. You just added black there. So African American is your race, and your ethnonym is a Black African American. You just said the same thing.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say, bro. I'm a Black African American. That's
So,
what I
okay. I got you. And look, I don't tell people, like, what I don't do is make people, you know, I don't do like a religion where you gotta say FBA. Hey man, call it what you want to call it. That's not important to me. The only thing that's important to me is, are you of the lineage? And when I say important, I'm saying important that what we're trying to do, like we're trying to galvanize on a simple commonality. That's not ideology based. That's not religion based or political based. None of that stuff. Just simply because you were born a certain way.
FBA got an ideology. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. No. Okay. Dude, nah, that's weak. You just said this. You just said to don't mention Unc when I'm speaking to you because Unc sometimes could be wild. I said, okay. Now, you just did that to me. You're saying because a couple FBAs are saying some wild stuff.
With Unc though, I don't have it. I don't.
I got you, but I'm just saying. I got you. I'm just saying back what you said to me. I'm saying, why would you have me to speak to?
You can't say the same thing to me though, like because you have Tariq's ideology. I don't have ideology.
No, I don't. Wait. Okay, prove out now. See, this is what he tiptoe and twist and tap out. Hey, bro, prove one ideology I got from Tariq. Prove one. You said it. Now you got to prove it. Source up.
We're gonna say what?
Source up. Prove. Give me the ideology I bought from Tariq Nasheed. I just said that he's against jab. I'm jabbed up. Okay.
So you have Tariq. So what comes with an ideology is like language and different.
Okay.
things.
So go ahead. So tell me.
Who's a tether and who's not a tether? That's an ideology that.
Okay. Hold on.
Rhetoric.
Hold on. All right. I see why they're crying now. Actually, are you familiar with Melvin Charles, the one that created the Black American Heritage flag?
No, I'm familiar with the Black.
See, yeah. See, here's the thing. He had wording too that we agreed with, and we even adopted the flag. So yes, so we agree right now. Yeah, in people homes that don't consider themselves FB at all, they have the Black American Heritage flag. That's 1967. That shit been popping, and that shit was used in public phones from certain cities and states. They was using that flag to represent Black Americans, delineating. All right, and he has certain terms and phrases that he used that we borrowed. That's okay. So if Tariq says something, we got Yvette say things I borrowed from. When she say disaggregate, I like that word. I use that. See, we're Black American. When we say something fly, we borrow it. Look at Cap. I say no cap, right? No cap. That's a fly word somebody came up with. And he might be a gangbanger. He might be this, it might be that. But that's a fly terminology to say somebody's lying. So yeah, that's part of AAVE, man. Like we borrow language. Look at your dig.
That's
like some. But hey, look at yo. Chef say yo, I say yo, and I'm from Jersey, from Baltimore. We're both saying yo.
Right.
Okay, so I'm saying like that. That's part of FBA culture. Certain words hit and some words don't. When Tariq Nasheed decided to label those people who fight against that's obviously immigrants or immigrant born who fight against our talking points tooth and nail like a stew peas. He had a clever name for them that he got from a movie. These little tethers. Now, some stuff he say we don't adopt. See, that's the thing. He's a human being. He's a loud voice. He has a microphone, and so does Roland Martin, and so does Umar Johnson. When he says this, when he says that's bunny, but that's no bunny shit. People borrow that. Hey man, and even Seti, when he said that's Negro psychosis, people actually borrowed that, even though they don't subscribe to the whole the Hotep stuff. People don't subscribe to Umar's Pan-African stuff, but they agree with the Snow Bunny stuff. So I'm saying that's normal. If somebody say some fly shit and you feel like it fits better than any other option, you borrow it. She from the streets, that's Future. Everybody been saying that ever since. She for the streets. That was some fly shit, and the way he had the swag to go with it. Nigga chilling in the back of a Maybach, whatever he's in. And he talking about some women. He like, yo, she for the streets. That went viral. So what about the?
So let's take so you familiar with the Nation of Islam, right?
Yeah.
So when you're a part of the Nation of Islam, right? Mm-hmm. Nation of Islam has a certain ideology. They got certain rhetoric that comes with that and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So like one would say, just because you Islam don't mean, and there's a lot of similar things in Islam that the Nation of Islam practice, right? You know, of course you wouldn't say just because you practice Islam, you down with the Nation of Islam. But once you start adopting certain certain rhetoric and certain ideology, then that kind of identifies you or kind of puts you in the realm of that Nation of Islam thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
Like you can identify people through the rhetoric. You know, you're like, oh, okay, that's a Nation of Islam guy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but it's false though, because you got so many people.
There's a lot of shit that old boy say that that the Nation of Islam would say that I would agree with. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't say that because I agree with one or two things that now I'm the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. That's a false argument because Dr. Malachi York used to say non-ether, right? 5% say non-cipher. People use that verbiage and don't even know where that comes from. It just sounds fly to them. And matter of fact, it ain't even non-cipher, it's now cipher. But they say non-cipher because they think that's what we're saying. It's actually now cipher. It's part of the supreme alphabet. It's now cipher, but they say non-cipher. But they get a pass because we know they're trying. But it just sounds fly to them. They have no idea where that comes from. People say non-ether. They have no idea where it comes from. It just sounds fly. Certain people that say fly shit, it just be more lit.
None of that shit before, but
but all right. I mean, but yeah, you're not from the East Coast, so yeah, okay, I got it. But you're not from the North.
Oh yeah, they see. So that's what I'm saying. So especially on the East Coast, right? You'll hear a lot of that lingo because of that ideology, because of that. You know what I mean?
It's because of the net. No, it's
that black power, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the lingo, it's an ideology that comes with that lingo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a false equivalent. If I put that shit in AI right now, it's gonna cook you. Like that. I mean, like you guys be saying shit and making that shit absolute. If I put that, I know. We know because we hear the arguments. Like, yo, that shit sound crazy. We listen. Well, this is what you guys. This is
with other human beings, bro.
Look, this is what you guys want to believe. All right, but
it's not a belief of mine. I'm just having an opinion. I'm just having.
All right, okay, then go ahead. All right, everybody got an opinion, and we got one too. It's all right.
A belief, bro.
Okay, all right. So we got it. All right, so we got it. Your race is African American. Your standalone ethnonym is Black African American. We got it. So when you fill out forms, you put Black African American on there.
And I check Black, African American. Yeah, absolutely.
No, but that's a race, though. I'm saying, like, when you were able to identify yourself somewhere, like your ethnic, what do you put down?
I just put American. What do you mean? Like, what are you saying, bro? Like,
America's your nationality.
There's a box. There's two boxes. Whether you're American citizen, I check that one, right? Are you Black or Black/African American? I check that one.
That's your race. But then, like, if you were to try to separate yourself,
nationality and a race. That's all I need.
Right. No, you didn't. Wait, no, because Nigerians they have an ethnonym tied to that, right? Everybody in the world has an ethnonym. How are you? Yeah, you see. Okay, so you got it, and that's the issue, and that's why we say you're Pan-African. That is the Pan. Now, look.
Give a damn about it.
Yeah, you just said that we borrow the ID. You just said that we take a word here and there or thought from Tariq Nasheed, we're part of him. But now you're borrowing arguments and parts of the ideology of Pan-Africans, but you're not a Pan-African. There's baggage that comes with. Wait, hold on. Let me say this.
Pan-Africans they had a whole kind of.
But part of their ideology.
So I don't.
I got you. Baggage. No, but you're saying that. But when you say that you're good with a racial
government thing, that ain't a Pan-African thing.
What's the government name?
When I talked about the boxes I checked, that was about a government thing. I wasn't talking about a Pan-African thing.
Okay, okay, I got it. I just asked you personally. I said every human being has an ethnonym, a standalone ethnonym to differentiate or show distinction from them and other people in the world. I just said, what's yours? You said, I ain't worried about that. I don't need it. I'm saying that is part of Pan-African ideology. Right. And I'm saying that's part. Got it. And I'm saying your answer is part of the Pan-African ideology. That's how all of them answer. And because you hang around them, you don't know you're being influenced around them. Yeah, but that's exactly their stance.
Okay. I got you.
Okay, so you're saying so.
Go buy anything, but
like, so listen, I got it.
When I'm filling out my official government records, bro, that's the way I go, bro. Like,
I got you, and yeah, I mean,
I don't have any.
Most people do too, right?
So the difference between me and you is what you saying. I got baggage, but I'm not having any baggage because I don't claim Pan-Africanism. You see what I'm saying? You said you are FBA or whatever.
And what else? And what else? And what else? I said I stated a fact. I'm a Black American. The F stands for foundation. That's okay. Right. So that's not baggage.
I never would have asked you that question.
No, I'm saying that's not baggage though. That's being real. So if somebody say, "Hey man, are you a Black American?" Yes. They say, "Hey man, are you a descendant of slavery?" Yes. Are you also descendants of freedmen? Yes. These are simple historical answers. Like there's no baggage coming with that. That's a reality. And did your people lay the foundation for this country? Yes. And also the foundational part, family, we kind of leave in the 1860s, but the foundational part is even in the 1950s because these folks couldn't be here without our fight. So we even laid a new foundation for those folks to come over here in the 1960s. So we laid two foundations. We physically built the country or helped build it, a significant portion of it. And then in 1950, we laid the foundation for other people to have a foundation. We like double foundational Black Americans.
You're against that. I'm biased for 1 second.
All right. So now I would the reason why I asked you those questions about. No,
I'm saying, do you think I would have argued against that for 1 second though?
I don't think you should. But the reason why I brought up African American, it wasn't a gotcha. I was showing you that you're saying that we're borrowing something from a man. Now we're tied to baggage.
Saying like that, the FBA comes with baggage.
Okay, and
you borrowed
yeah, but how? Okay, so watch this. Watch this. Watch this. What I'm saying is, how do you know they accept FBA? Okay, this person, you don't know at all. They just heard the terminology, foundational, Black American, like so many people have. Like the brother on the phone, or the brother on the channel right now, he said he just subscribed to Tariq Nasheed. Matter of fact, Donnie is ADOS. So you got people, see, again, y'all don't know the person of my channel. I had one of the first channels that was inclusive to everybody of the lineage. At that point, people who were claiming ADOS, listen. Just listen. So when y'all have your private conversations, you can say this, because you guys didn't understand the purpose of my channel. You guys were giving me grifting reasons. And I'm saying my channel was one of the first channels that was welcoming people of the lineage who called themselves FBA and ADOS. At that point, there was like a little rift. You were ADOS, you wasn't really accept FBA, FBA, you want to accept ADOS. It's like a little rift, like a little civil war, a slight small one. So what I did was I nipped that in the bud. I said, I'm going to create a channel that's going to be all inclusive to everybody that's called themselves ADOS, FBA, descendants of freedmen. That's exactly what I said for my page. I think it's still there. Right. So that was my purpose. I was one of the first people to do that.
The abos and stuff, they don't be, they deny slavery and stuff like that. And that's why I came on. So let's rewind. Let's rewind. This is why I came on anyway in the first place the other day, right? I was trying to get here to this part where we are now, like where you had this. Well, I guess it was a little bit earlier in the conversation where you kind of discuss how you the people who thought they were already here and how you felt about that, and then kind of where we at now, right? I wasn't coming on for like beef or nothing like that, because I was like, damn, I remember Bias used to go. We used to go at the abos and shit like that. Like me and Bias. Me and you used to go at the abos a lot. On your channel, I think you used to.
Hey, bro, I ain't never. I ain't never
ever have a discussion about.
Dude, if y'all did, that's on y'all. I ain't never direct my attention to abos, bro. I have no arguments for an abo.
Okay, so I might be mistaken, but anyway,
never. That was Sean and them thing.
So my point was, so I might be mistaken then. My bad. But my point was that, a lot of them, that's what I was coming on to discuss. A lot of them be like, slavery didn't exist. We was already here and we didn't, you know what I'm saying? So I was just confused by that. That was all. That was my whole thing.
All right.
You know what
so let me straighten that out.
Like, you got the right to have your channel and say what you want to say on your channel. Who am I?
Yeah, so,
you know
right. So let me address that then. Let me address that. Because I heard people say, hey, this guy's on your channel, that guy's on your channel, and they trying to like.
I don't even know that. I don't know the different the abo guys, so I wouldn't know any of that. Okay. Go ahead.
So, because I believe I'm pretty witty, and yes, I'm very good at chess, and chess is about planning and solving problems. I'm very good at solving problems. So I thought about what language, because I feel like people are calling themselves things, and people that might be a roadblock from people to come together of the same lineage. So in my channel, bro, I say I'm FBA ADOS, descendant of freedmen, but I really just use the term the lineage. So over here, the lineage supersedes these acronyms, okay? Because all those acronyms are doing, they are names attempted to describe the lineage. So even if somebody came over here as an African American, right? And that's the terminology they want to use. I wouldn't even trip. The fact that they're still galvanizing on one commonality that they are of the same lineage, I'm cool, because that's my pitch. It's the lineage. Now, I thought about abos. That's okay. So an abo is going to believe, and when you say abo, to my people, aboriginals, right, who believe they were already here, and then no slaves. I say that's not an issue for me, because I will ask you this. Do you believe that those people were already here? Do you believe with their account of history, they were already here before the slave trade?
Do I believe the abos was? No, I don't. Like African Americans was here already? No.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, cool. And that I thought about that. Okay. So don't you believe if they do a 23andMe, it's going to bring their ass back to Africa somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So if that's true, wouldn't they qualify for to be FBA?
Yeah.
Right. So that's how I look at it. I said your origin story doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
are you FBA or you're not? Are you of the lineage or you're not?
Yeah,
And
but
it turned out, no, listen.
They wouldn't even take a DNA.
Okay, no, but listen what I'm saying though. Listen what I'm saying though. I'm saying, listen, it don't matter. What I'm saying, at some point, everybody got to prove what they're saying at some point. So if people were really here and they could prove it, that means they got to do that. So that means that, if they were right the whole time, then they sourced up. If they can't prove it, it's going to be an issue. Okay. When it comes to tangibles and allocations that are directed toward the lineage, right? So that's all that matters to me. It's like at some point, everybody got to prove what they say they are. And right now, this ain't the time. We're still galvanizing. But there's going to come a time. Right now, we're taking everybody on face value. There's people who say they're FBA. We don't know. There's people saying they're Adolf. We don't know.
They say they not of the lineage, though. Ain't that the point, right?
Who? Wait, what happened?
Isn't that the point of the abos is like that they ain't of the lineage?
Who said they're not of the lineage?
The abos.
That's absolutely false.
No, yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, you bugging.
You're completely wrong.
Bro, this is
wrong.
How I understand it. They don't think that they were a part of our history like this.
Yeah, that's misinformation.
Go ahead. So they are.
Professor Small doesn't even believe that. Professor Small doesn't even believe that. Even though he acknowledged, that his family, just like Dewan B talked about his family background when he was having a back and forth with Unc, Professor Smalls acknowledged that his own family took him to the burial mounds and told him that his ancestors were buried in the mounds. Okay. Okay. So he acknowledged. It doesn't. See, the thing is
that Professor Smalls. I'm saying I'm
telling you, if you listen, you'll understand. The point is that if you're tied into the experience, see, the slavery aspect is the connective tissue. Tethers don't have that connection on this landmass here. Okay, that will be like us trying to, if let's say Britain and France decided they wanted to pay reparations to Africa for colonization. Are we going to get that based off of being African? No, we're not going to get that. We're going to get it from this particular experience because it's here. You know what I'm saying? So Professor Smalls even acknowledges that part, while at the same time trying to be connected to Africa as well in terms of the Pan-African. See, the Pan-African part is the ideology that tries to connect the melanated people of the world from a melanated perspective and trying to tie it into a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? ADOS and FBA is more from a lineage base. That's Pan-African. Before Pan-African existed, we still existed. You know what I'm saying? We still had a lineage here. Pan-African was just a theory that was created in the Caribbean. That was just people trying to believe in or wanted to believe in some idea of us all coming together and working together, which I'm not saying was a bad idea necessarily if it was actually practiced by the people who came up with it. But that's not what happened. But whether Pan-Africanism exists or not, our lineage is still concrete here, though. And that's the whole point. There's nothing to argue about that. Like, either you have it or you don't. Just like I can't claim Igbo because I don't have that. Because I'm not that. So it's the same thing. Just like a Yoruba can't claim Igbo. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not considered that.
Ron, you there?
Yeah, I just.
Hey Ron, we got a wrench going wild in the chat, bro.
Oh, where? Who is it?
Monochondriatic blues.
Yeah, I said that yesterday or the day before, I think.
Okay, so this is what I mean. This is why before I made a channel, I wanted this to be a home for everybody of the lineage, right? Whether you say you already been here or you came on a slave ship, that didn't matter because both people, right, experienced the same ethnogenesis. So that means they're from the same lineage. So I keep saying your origin story doesn't really matter. It's your end story. Were you part of ethnogenesis or not? So when he said that Abels don't say they got of the lineage, that was news to me. I was like, what? But this is what I'm trying to say. Like they be saying stuff that's false and that they just be saying it. And I almost believe them because I'm like, really? Because I
wasn't saying I was stating my understanding. I don't listen, I'm biased. I'm not like some abo guy or that I talk to abos a lot. I'm saying what I was stating was this is how I understand it, bro.
Wait, so let me just speak to Mono. Mono.
It was okay if y'all corrected
1 second, Corey. Let me speak to Mono. No, it's not a big deal. Because I wouldn't even, when you said that, I wasn't even sure at that point. Hey, Mono, I don't got to block you.
Right.
Wait, hold on. Let me just talk to Mono. Mono, I don't got to block you, my guy. You just got to take your medicine, right? So, I mean, you can control your action. He's talking about block me. I don't need to. You know, if you crashing out, then we got to block you. But you don't have to crash out, though. Like, you just need some self-control. That's why I say these guys always talk about self-resilience, self-knowledge, self-righteousness, but they would have no self-control. Like practice that shit first before all the self stuff. Yeah. So now knock it off, or I gotta get you out of here. I'm gonna take your wrench. Let me take his wrench. I'm gonna take it. He takes guy wrench. Yeah, you know, I'm saying though, when you say stuff like that though, because you said it you had me believing you, so you ain't said like in a question form.
I wasn't.
You said it in an absolute form. No, I'm just saying as you're communicating, like you said it like they really were denying the lineage. That's why I said really.
Then I was like, don't the abos? I think I said it in the question form, but if I didn't, I apologize, bro. But I was thinking, I was under the understanding that the way they say it is like, yo, y'all say that y'all came on slave ships and this and that and the other, and we wasn't involved in that. We was already here. This was my understanding of it, bro. So
yeah, now that's light though. That's light though. Like for us, we don't even engage in that because I know that's
you
what people.
Admitted that was your understanding of it. You just said that, didn't you?
Okay,
said,
listen.
I thought that was that's what the case was.
No, I said I didn't know. I said I don't know them. Okay, prior to you saying that, I thought they said that's why I said the way I said it. Prior to you saying that, I understood that they believed they were of the lineage. All right, prior to you saying that. So when you said that, I'm like, really? Like, oh shit, that's what they thought the whole time? Because I was gonna say, well, then they're not FBA.
Like, no, I ain't African. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
No. But hold on, dude. I'm past that. Okay, that's not what I do here. What I do here is we talk about what we have in common, not what we don't have in common. See, we're different than these other channels out there that can't get along for shit, that keep splitting and dividing and arguing amongst each other. We know how to come together on something we agree with and make that the priority, as opposed to coming together on something we disagree on that creates unlimited perpetual debates. Like we figured it out, we cracked the code. And that's why we're growing in numbers. It ain't because we're scamming or grifting. It's because we figure out how to get along.
Absolutely.
And nobody else did.
That's why I brought up Dewan. That's why I brought up Dewan B.
Yeah,
that's why I brought up Dewan B.
I don't have a problem with coming together and nothing like that. Absolutely. You know, it's strength in numbers, definitely. Any no goal gets accomplished alone, right? Everything that's been accomplished in history been a cooperation. So anything meaningful, rather, to the human species has been a cooperation. So absolutely, you know, you already know I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm a solutionist. I said I figured it out. I figured out how to get Black Americans on one accord and address serious topics, regardless of religion.
I don't know how
politics.
Much when you call the brother a coon. I mean, god damn, bro.
No. Well, Malcolm X called. No, that happens. I'm saying that. Well, like I said, like if people don't know, here's the problem. People be with people who are agents or got agent behavior, and if people can't see that, then yes, they're cool, man. They're cool. If people around people like Haskell and Stu Pease that have a long track record of FBA hate, Black American hate.
Like 20 people though, bro. It's like 20 people.
But you don't see when he talk. But you don't see. So you don't challenge his arguments.
Discord. It's not like most of the time we not even live. Most of the discussion we don't even be live, and I don't even know when we live.
But if we say the smallest thing, oh, it's baggage. But Stu Pease is on there with full of baggage, and somehow he gets a free pass.
Yeah, but
why does everybody else fucking get a pass?
Wait. No. Every last one of y'all were cool. When I just played, you guys let this guy tell a fake biography about me. Oh, this guy was doing this for a living. You talk about going personal. Like, goddamn.
Listen, bro.
Hold on. Let me just get a few words in real fast. Wait. I got you. Of course, that's why I said y'all cool. Yeah, I got you. And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, there needs to be some type of sense of, like, hey, man, we're not doing that here.
I got to be cool for what another guy said.
Yeah, well, right.
Why you? I would never say, well, yo, Unbiased is a coon because some wild nigga said something. Like,
no, on my show, no, that ain't just that. If I got a guy on my show,
I would have been like, yeah, that was a wild ass nigga on your show, Unbiased.
No. Okay, but let me finish it. But we're different. No, but we're different. That's the thing. What I'm saying is, if there's somebody on my show, I got you. So you gotta, but I gotta say, you said we all got opinions, right? That's my opinion, and I'm going to justify it. I'm going to say how I operate. We operate different, apparently. But I gotta say how I operate, though. You give your opinion, you got it. Now let me say mine. And the way I am, the way I operate is, if I'm cool with people and got a good rapport with them, and an outsider come over here and start disrespecting you in front of me, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to say, oh, what the fuck? Yo, chill out, yo.
What did he say? What did Stu Pease say? Wow.
Okay, so he gave a whole fake biography about me, like my upbringing and where I worked at, and this happened and this happened. Like it was all to undermine.
I never even heard your upbringing.
Okay, so what about the scamming part when everybody said I was scamming because people, now watch this, just hear the rest of it. People say I'm scamming because I have a channel that's monetized, and it's a super chat button like there is on every fucking body channel that's monetized, and they cash at me like everybody and their mother get cashed at. So nothing I'm doing different. My channel, that don't happen in regular YouTube world. That's okay now. So that's not scam, but that was allowed to be said, and they literally put like that. Oh, he's getting donations like everybody else. He's getting Shannon Sharp, DJ Academics, everybody that's popping.
Yeah,
oh, he's getting.
I don't be involved in the pocket watching. And
okay, yeah, but that was allowed. That was said on your watch. I'm scamming because I'm getting super chat.
It's not my channel. It's not my.
I didn't say your channel. I said your watch. Your president. That's why I said we're different now. For me, if somebody said, "Yo, Unc is pimping the Black community because he decides to sell sneakers," I would say, "Nah, that ain't pimping the Black community. That's called black economics." That's what I would say. I say, "No, you bugging." That's what I would say. That ain't pimping the culture.
So how many times did you ain't ever had a discussion with Chief X before?
Okay, Chief X also, yeah. Look, the video I was playing, he was there too. I cooked him too, but I got his ass too. But the thing is, like, we move past that.
That nigga done said,
But yeah, but now Corey, hold on, Corey, you're saying things, Corey, you're saying things that he said on his own channel.
No,
like,
I got you.
Yeah. His own channel, but when people come across,
it ain't none of my channels though. So
I got it. Well, I'm just saying, like more importantly, like if I have a special connection with certain YouTube content creator, right? I feel like that's, I gotta be the brother's keeper. Like people just can't say anything about that person, right? Because I understand how the internet works. If you let it go and you say nothing, it becomes true. And guess what? I'm biased. He say nothing, so it must be true. That's his man. That's his internet boy. So if he ain't say nothing, that shit must be true.
So people know me as your internet boy. I don't even think nobody.
No. Okay, you're just trying to find a way out of it. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. But that's why I called you coon. Okay, like that's why.
What you said is you have your way of dealing with it, and I got my dealing with it. I ain't mad. Like I just wouldn't call you a coon. Like,
because we're different. Yeah. That's part of my language. That's part of like who I am.
Let me ask him a question.
You actually know what a coon is, though.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. So if you rock, I'm gonna take Ron out of it. Let's say somebody else and you rocking with somebody and you cool with that person, and y'all cool with another person, and for whatever reason that other person says something disparaging about the first person that you're cool with. They say something about that particular person in a disparaging way where there's no evidence. There's no evidence to say why they're doing anything like that. And you're cool with both of these people. And you don't say anything to back up the other person.
I think you should say something, right?
But if you don't say,
hold on. Go ahead.
If you don't say something, does that make you a stand-up person?
It just depends. So sometimes it's everything ain't just black and white. Things is a case by case.
No. If you're cool with both of the people, and the one person says something disparaging, listen, so you can understand. So you will understand what you're responding to.
You said it already.
Okay. So does that make you a stand-up person? If you don't defend the other person.
Started to say, bro, if you let me say it, like
you were saying a bunch of nothing. That's why I'm trying to get you to answer.
Everything is not black and white. Certain things are on a case by case basis. So in general, yeah, you would want to say something, right? You would say something, like, especially in person, like, you know what I mean, like especially in a real life situation, right? You would definitely, in most cases, I would say you would have to stand up and say, well, no, that guy's, not that type of person, right? But you got to understand, like, we coming off a day where Bias basically cussed me out and already called me a coon and all of this shit already. You know what I'm saying? While I was on the panel. So I'm just in disbelief, but really at the same time, you got to understand, like, when I'm on that panel, on that Discord, I be at work. So I will come on and come off mute and say a few things, but then I go back on mute and then I'm gone for, I'm at work, I'm on a construction site. So everything that's being said on that panel, I can't come and say something, or most of the time I don't even hear it because I'm on a construction site. And even if I do hear it, sometimes I can't even come off mute. A lot of times they say shit about me that I want to come off mute and say and rebuttal, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because I be at work. So that's just a panel that I go on to get through my work day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I'm running the show or I got control over it or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just people I don't even have control over who comes on the panel. You know what I mean? You go on, you hit the button, you have a discussion.
Okay, let me say this. because I find a lot of the communication styles with a bunch of, you know, a lot of people, a lot of males specifically, that claim to be either Pan-African or push some of these talking points and stuff like that. I said, I didn't even finish my point.
Go ahead.
I said Pan-African or people who push this Black unity, whatever. Okay. At a certain point, when it comes to men specifically, there's a certain protocol in how you operate. Okay. And the thing that men do, we respect when you're consistent. Okay. So the truth of the matter is that because I remember having this type of experience when I actually used to be in the pro Black Pan-African circles. And what happens is a lot of times when people are cool with certain people, they are willing to let certain things slide that when it comes to just principle stuff, you just can't allow to slide. And so, because once you start allowing the principle stuff to slide, then everything else turns to shit over time, pretty quickly. And so there has to be a litmus of basic things that, you know, for example, when people start talking about people's personal stuff and start, you know, airing stuff out like that, to me, that's some female type stuff, because that's what females do. When they get pissed off at each other, they'll just start airing their shit out, you know, publicly. You know what I'm saying? And the truth of the matter is that that's not okay for a person to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, Ron, he has family, he has a son. You know, if he's divulging information to somebody in confidence, you know, don't get mad because you can't beat him in an argument, and then you start, you know, passing off personal information. Whether it's true or not, you're making up stuff. It's not the point. It's the point you just don't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we're talking about trust here, and this is a major reason why we're as a group in terms of FBA, we're so skittish, because we have this experience with people from a foreign jurisdiction who they get close to us, and then they show their true colors when they feel they're in a better position. And so that's not really going to be anything that men, when you're a man, there's just certain things that you're just not going to accept. Like, I'm not going to tolerate that. Like, if somebody comes to me talking something about anything on a gossipy level, I'm going to be like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, I'm just not going to entertain it. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't engage in the backbiting and all that type of stuff. Like, I can have a mature discussion, but at the end of the day, the backbiting type stuff, like, that's just some high school type shit. We're supposed to be way beyond that as grown men. And the truth of the matter is, like, if you're going to stand on it, if you're going to say something to him about saying, you know, to you about a coon, then you should also be offended by what this particular cat was doing as well. Be equally offended. Don't be offended when it offends you, but his behavior should be offensive too. And if you're not going to say anything about that, then eventually shots going to come your way, because that's just how it rolls. And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think that's what Ron is alluding to, based on what he's been saying so far.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I was already a coon before I even had a discussion. I was on that panel with Stu Pease, though. That was what I was saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Before he even like played that, like I was on this panel, and he was calling me a coon the other day when I was just basically trying to have this discussion. This is the same discussion, basically. I was trying to come on and have with him, because like I said, like I done been having millions of discussions with unbiased over years. Like I don't even know how many years. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, I think most of the time we have a discussion, me and Unbiased is probably in line with each other most, if I can remember correctly. Now he's a couple things he said I misremembered today, so I don't want to say make it seem like I'm making a factual statement, but if I'm remembering correctly, right, me and Unbiased used to be pretty much in line on most of the discussions we used to have. I can't really remember like somewhere where we kind of like vehemently disagreed. I don't, if we did, if he might remember, but I can't really remember. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I had a lot of good discussions with him over the years, so I wouldn't, like, I'd maybe say, well, you know, I don't appreciate these guys maybe that unbiased around or whatever, but I would never like be like, yo, he's a bitch ass African booty scratching coon ass nigga. It's like, damn, for real, bro. Like, you know, that's all I want.
All right. So now the reason why I said what I said, because Two Piece was doing that show too. Okay, he was speaking very ill about me and lying, and nobody's challenging.
It was not me, bro. Is what I'm saying.
I got you. No, but the brother just explained that. But this is you right here, though.
I hear you. I hear you.
Right. Watch this right here.
But everybody, you see, like it's not just one or two people. It's more than one person saying the shit, bro. You know, it's got to be some at least some validity to it. That's all I'm saying.
Let me drop
because I was really an unbiased fan, bro.
So I was really an unbiased fan, bro. So whoever this is actually going against the narrative that the panel is saying about me. This was beautiful because they like, well, we got to stop capping. I get it. We're mad because he called y'all out for cooning. But what y'all saying...
Smalls right there. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's saying, but right now y'all ODing. Okay, he called people coon because he felt like people were purposely letting people defame him and then they come to the defense. So he called people coons. Everybody will allow that. Now watch this. But he's saying right now y'all doing too much. Y'all coming after his character and y'all know y'all lying. So this is no longer an opinion. You guys are lying. That's why he said, hey man, I've been a fan of his. And he kept, and then watch this. Watch when he says, I've been a fan of his. Because you're right. Y'all be having a discourse and sometimes they live and sometimes they not. And he apparently didn't know it was live. So he was being honest. He's not with the script right now. The whole lying shit. Now look what he says.
There's some validity to it. That's all I'm saying.
Let me drop
because I was really an unbiased fan, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
Is we live?
Yeah, we live right now.
Okay, you hear that? So clearly the script was to lie and not be real about unbiased, Ron. This is a smear campaign. Hold on. I got it.
I was on the panel.
I got it. Okay. Well, you were definitely there at this point. But what I'm saying is, but this is bigger than you though, because I'm not trying to make you the police officer.
Lie about it or nothing like that while I was there.
Okay. Now I'm just saying I'm not trying to make you the police officer right now. I'm saying because this happened afterwards. After I said what I said, but now there's an agenda because my name's in the title. So there's an agenda right now. So he's off the agenda. He's off code. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna say some real shit about the brother. Y'all capping with all this, and that. He's a this, that, Arab, Indian. Y'all kind of lying. Like, let's be real. Like, unbiased. I'm a fan of him. And then he kept saying. So right now he said, oh, I'm a fan of his. Blah blah. Oh, we live. Stay with the script, bro. We ain't doing that. We ain't being honest right now. We hating it. We capping. And then later on, he came back and doubled down and said, yo, he a solid dude. The narrative again. Yo, he ain't no solid dude. He was with the Nation of Islam, with the Israelites. That ain't solid dude. And lying. He was 6 different things. Lying. But like I said.
Everybody don't have the same.
Hold on. Bro, when you just going on just now, I understand that. I understand that. See, but this is why we didn't get along the first time you called in. Because when I go to talking, I get cut off as I let you. But you just went just now.
My bad, bro. I just be having a discussion, bro.
I got it. Yeah, but it didn't work last time. That's why I said this time you called in, and I did cut in sometimes too. But I'm like, all right, I kept catching myself. All right, let him go. All right, so I'm trying to be mindful not to cut you off. Right, let him go because it went left last time because of the cutoffs. But right now, I wanted to say the same dude doubled down and came back and said, yeah, nah, he's a solid guy. And then the dudes, so first of all, he said he's a fan. Oh, we're live, stick to the script. Now the dude came back and said, man, yo, y'all wild, and basically, yo, he's a solid dude as far as I ever know him. Nah, he ain't solid.